Get better with the glasses. What about? Oh, such a pretty little thing. Who is she? Who is she? Who is she in my camera? Hey guys, BCStarks here, coming at you with another video. I'm just being silly. Anyways, I'm coming to you today to talk about a subject that I always talk about. No, actually, I don't always talk about it, but it's been the theme of this month, and I'm gonna just keep it going. And that's relationships and love. And yesterday, which was May 15th, today is the 16th, Saturday, I posted a photo on my Instagram, and it was basically a photo of an excerpt from one of my favorite books and one of my favorite authors. And if you don't know what it is, and you haven't checked out my Instagram, it is from a book called Getting to I Do, and the key to doing relationships right. And I'm going to post a picture, which you can see this way. I don't know. I'm going to edit it. But basically, I posted that cover of the book as well as an excerpt from chapter 3 of the book, which I feel is the most important premise of the book, and basically the most important premise of any relationship, and that is understanding energies and basically the roles that we play when we're in relationships or we're interacting with people of the opposite sex or even the same sex. So basically, I'm going to read a little bit of the picture, because the picture shows some words from the book, and the chapter is titled Choosing to Be Respected or Cherished. And I love it because it basically talks about how we all operate with different energies in mind whenever we're basically interacting with other people. And we have the possibilities or capabilities of interacting with both energies. What I mean by both is, you ever heard of the concept, the yin and the yang? You know that little black and white little circle thing that goes like that? You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, Google it. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I know the history of it like that, but I always understood the concept. And basically, it's just that opposites work together in harmony whenever they're balanced, basically. And so we all as human beings have both masculine and feminine energies going on within us at the same time. However, we predominantly have either one or the other energy operating within us whenever we're interacting with other people. And the way that Dr. Pat Allen breaks it down in this particular chapter is, she calls it masculine and feminine energy or role, basically. And it has less to do with gender and everything to do with, again, the energy that you're presenting. So it could be applied when you're talking about heterosexual relationships, or when you're talking about gay or lesbian relationships, or transgender. You just have to know what is your predominant nature. So if you want to be cherished, for example, then you are someone who operates predominantly from a feminine energy space. And that means you want your feelings to be cherished. You want somebody to ask you, sweetie, how's your day? How are you feeling right now? You want somebody to care about those feelings. And if you're operating predominantly from a masculine energy, you are basically someone who cares more about your thoughts being respected. You want people to respect your mind. You know that saying from one of those old school hip hop songs, respect my mind. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. At any rate, and you want your thoughts to be respected, and that's a more masculine quality. However, it's not to label male or female. It's more so to understand which one do you predominantly operate from. You know, are you somebody who's like very aggressive and bullheaded, and you just want people to, like, you know, my thoughts matter. You know, my thoughts are very important, and if I make a decision, I don't need you raining on my parade. I need you to support me in that. I need you to let me know that my decision making is something that's valued in this relationship. And so that's a very masculine quality. And I say that it has nothing to do with gender because, again, we all present some of these qualities from time to time. But when you are in relationships, you have to pay attention very closely to what messages are you sending through the energy that you're operating from. And if you are a predominantly masculine person, or meaning, for example, the alpha male, someone who's completely masculine driven, very aggressive, wants their thoughts respected, wants to be the provider, wants to be the decision maker, wants to lead the way, be the head and not the tail of the relationship, then by all means, you are a person who wants your thoughts respected. You are masculine energy predominantly. But if you're the opposite of that, you're someone who's very nurturing, who likes to basically have your feelings cherished. You want someone to care about your feelings. You want to be pampered. You want to be made to feel safe in the relationship. You want to be made to feel like you, that you are basically cherished. You want to feel cherished. That you are predominantly the feminine energy operating in the relationship. And whenever you have two people interacting and they're both operating from the same energy space, that is when it becomes a major problem. And you just have to decide or understand the role that you've been playing. And if the role that you've been playing is satisfactory to your liking, basically you feel like you've been playing in your traditional role that's natural to your instincts, then by all means, keep that going, but make sure you get with somebody who complements that, who's the complete opposite of that, because that is the only way you're going to have harmony. However, if you know that you've been playing a role that's not natural to you, for example, what Dr. Pat Allen talks about also in the book is that revolutionary times such as women's lib, where women became able to work in the workforce and be providers for their family and be the main, basically the main provider for the family and make the money and take care of home, that kind of changed a lot of how women would go about relationships. It made them more masculine in general because it made them the ones who basically made the family secure. The ones who hid emotion because you have to play strong in order to raise your family and let them know that, hey, I'm in charge. It made them more privy to not expressing emotion and more privy to being very aggressive and bullheaded because you want to advance in the workplace and you want people to respect your mind so that you can make decisions and make this project or this business deal solidified and successful. And she says that gave women permission to basically wear a mask, to wear something that's not natural to our being, so to speak, unless, you're born a certain way. I'm not going to get into that. But basically, by nature, we're very nurturing. We are very in tune with our feelings by nature as women. And again, when you suppress that, you're basically putting on a mask. And we've done it because of the signs of the times. That's what we know. We're career women. We want to advance in the career world and the workspace, so much so that we're holding out on having babies. We're holding out on marriage because we want to excel and we want to be able to provide the lives for ourselves, that the best life that we can for ourselves first, and then get with a mate that could get jiggy with that. However, by nature, we're starting to find out that something is kind of off about that, because we'll find that a lot of women who are successful, and this is not all, it's just a lot of women who are successful in the workplace and successful intellectually and making money, that they can't seem to find the relationships that make them feel safe and secure. And that's because you're giving off two different vibes, and you got to know when to turn one of them off and when to turn the other one on. And when you're at the workplace, you got to turn on that masculine whatever to get stuff done, to be the head of the, department, whatever the case may be. But when you get home and you're with Daddy, you know what I'm talking about, Daddy. You got to make him feel like a man. You got to make him feel like he is the head and not the tail, if that's what you desire. And again, that chapter is most important because it basically tells you you are the one who has the choice. You have the decision to make and choose, basically, what is your predominant energy? And if you are predominantly operating out of something that you feel is not natural to you, because, for example, you are a woman who craves to excel academically and, in the workplace and be a provider, but at the same time in your relationships, you want to feel taken care of. You want your feelings cherished. You want to feel safe. You want your man to make you feel like a queen on a throne and just be pampered. And, you want him to give you the world. Then, sweetie, you got to learn how to find balance. You got to learn how that if you're going to be successful, you can be successful at work. But if you're going to be successful in your relationship, you got to play the role that you want to play. You got to be in the position that you want to be in if you want the relationship to succeed. Now, this topic is really, really deep, and I barely scraped the surface. But again, I would advise all of you to just go out, buy the book, read it, and drop me a line and let me know what you think. This has been a book that I've given to basically most of my close girlfriends. They all have it. And it's been, something that I've been exposed to at least for a good 3 or 4 years now. And it's changed my life and it's changed my perspective on dating because, again, the concepts that are presented in it are not those that you would traditionally be talking about with your grandmama or your mama, because a lot of times they don't understand that, or they don't have the language to communicate that. And so when you're trying to fit in this 21st century world where social norms have changed drastically because of social media, because of the sign of the times where women are getting higher education and starting to excel in the workplace at a rapid rate, that, things change. And I think we forget about what's true to our nature. And we have to get back to finding that balance. And so, again, this is a lovely, lovely introduction to this topic. And I really hope that you guys will take the time to read a book. Because, as they say, if you want to keep a man down, put whatever information he needs in a book. Because 9 times out of 10, we're a little bit too lazy to pick that book up and find out the truth of life. And I challenge you to do that. Because it makes your life better. When you know better, you can do better. BC Starks, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.